Hi everybody, my name is Jaden.
I'm Yah.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
And we are the Yahoo on the Torah YouTube channel.
And we thank you very much for joining us. We are your family, you are our family, and we appreciate you guys. And we are reading an amazing story today, and it is a book that is, I suppose it is probably controversial because there are a lot of people that they don't like this book, and they think it's something that messes with scriptures or something else in that. And I guess the thing is that folks need to be, I guess the easy thing is that folks need to be extremely astute in their understandings. And for those who are babes in the truth, some of the stuff might, be hard to understand or hard to get. But when you read enough of this is without a shadow of a doubt the words of our Messiah. And these are things that if we are called to be followers of our Messiah, then we need to act like him and we need to become like him. And then we need to do what he does and do what he says. That is the only way. If we don't do what he says and we are not followers of him, then, we're followers of Hasatan. All right. So let's begin and let's see what we can figure out today. Yahushua went from there to the house of his mother, for Miriam had a small inheritance. She was a careful woman. For once, when her children were young, having lost a small silver coin, she swept the floor carefully, sifting until she found it. All right. I thought this would be something interesting to discuss right here, right? Messiah told us this parable before.
So he based it on his real life experiences.
Yeah, he based it upon his real life experiences, and we'd never ever heard anything like this, and so this is amazing. 2, leaving there, he withdrew to the sea, for Yahushua liked to swim and be among the boats. Now, while he was there, a great number came from Galilee, from all the Yehuda, and from Jerusalem, some even from beyond Yarden, and from the coast of the western sea where he was known. Yahushua bid his followers prepare a small ship as quickly as possible to take him away from the great crowd pressing about him. As he had cured so many who were afflicted, excuse me, still, are you stuck, kid? You know where we're at?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Let me start that again. Yahushua bid his followers prepare a small ship as quickly as possible to take him away from the great crowd pressing about him. As he had cured so many who were afflicted, those still uncured tried to touch him, and there was a constant shoving and scuffling to get near. Escaping the boat, he went with it a short distance to where a path led up a hillside. Climbing this to a small mount, he sat down with his disciples. The time for celebrating the great festival was approaching, and Yahushua sent out many apostles and heralds. Seeing that a large crowd had gathered on a hillside, Yahushua stood up and addressed the people. After they were seated in this manner, "This is a night of ignorance, when men wander, lost in the darkness of worldly conditions. I am the light and the hope of men. These are the people I support and accept, and this is the message I give to them." Okay, and this is something that every Christian should understand. This chapter right here, this is who Messiah accepts, and this is who Messiah rejects. And so every single one of us need to be very understanding of these next words that are coming forth. "For I have come to unsheath the sword of the Ruach among men and to lead them forth to fight the battles of Elohim. The sword is the Ruach, even as the body is the sheath. Let your swords be bright and keen for the fray. Be staunch and resolute. And the rule of Elohim will surely sweep all wickedness and evil, all pain and distress from the face of the earth. I accept the oppressed and disinspirited, for they shall inherit glory in the kingdom of the Ruach. I accept those who grieve, for they should not be without a comforter. Is it not written, 'Let the words of Yahuwah be an unquenchable light within you, and they will shorten your days of sorrow'? I accept the disinherited, for they shall inherit the earth. Is it not written, 'The disinherited shall be joyful amid bounty and peace'? I accept those who hunger after enlightenment, for they shall be satisfied. Is it not written, 'The pleasures of the food table sit heavily on the stomach, but wisdom fills the heart with satisfaction and content'? I accept the compassionate, for they shall be compensated. Is it not written, 'He who has compassion builds a fountain of consolation for his time of need'? I accept the pure-hearted, for their nature draws them closer to Elohim. Is it not written, He whose hands and heart are clean receives the fullest measure of the power of the Ruach. I accept the peacemakers, for they are truly the heirs of Elohim. Is it not written, "Listen, my children, and I will teach you the ways that are good," causing you to seek for peace and maintain it? I accept those who suffer in the cause of mankind, for on them shall fall the mantle of glory in the kingdom of the Ruach. Is it not written, "When they scorned and abused me, I was strengthened by the Ruach of Yahuwah, and nothing can now dismay me"? I accept those whose motives, when seeking to do good, are misunderstood, for their place in glory is established. Is it not written, "Because they have reviled and slandered you, eternal glory will be granted"?
So we've kind of heard this before when you use them out. In a certain way, not like kind of like
in a certain way, we have heard all of these, and we're going to hear stuff that we have never ever heard here very shortly. So these are the people right here who are accepted. You know, some of them. One of the things I thought was very interesting is I accept the peacemakers. What are peacemakers?
Who make peace?
What does that look like? I mean, what does that look like in a world?
That's people who are spreading the word. That'd be people spreading the word. That'd be people who are coming to people without like anger.
Peacemakers. One thing is somebody calls a peacemaker is a gun. Then somebody brings their peace and their peacemaker. That is not what we are talking about in this case. Peacemakers are people who don't fight with others, right? They do not bring aggression in and around things. They are calm when everybody's yelling at them. They are peaceable when in the midst of other people's adversities, and you're trying to bring peace in that. And there's a tremendous amount of warmongers that are the opposite of peacemakers. And I find this very interesting. On those who are accepted are the peacemakers, right? Okay, let's continue on. I also found this was very good. I accept those whose motives, when seeking to do good, are misunderstood, for their place in glory is established. And there's a lot of people that try to do what they think is doing good. And a lot of times our motivations will get us into a lot of trouble, and they will get us in trouble. Okay, 16. You whom I accept are the salt of the earth. So these are the people. These are our people. The kingdom warriors are the salt of the earth. But if the savor of the salt disappears, it is useless. As salt without any flavor would be good for nothing, so those without goodness in their hearts serve no purpose. As salt adds flavor to food, so do good men make life more acceptable. I am your light, but you are the light of the world. Therefore build a strong city set on a hill, for a light shining from a hilltop cannot be hidden. I have given you the light, so it may be put to use. For men do not put a lighted candle under a grain basket, but in a candlestick, where it can light up a room. Let your light shine before men, so they see the path clearly. Join your lights together, so they combine to form an unquenchable flame. For while a candle is easily snuffed out, it takes many men to subdue a forest fire. Be stout-hearted and resolute, for the struggle will be grim. The foe is wily and well entrenched behind thick walls. Those who have lived with poverty and misery, maintaining a cheerful heart in tribulation, will arise to glory. Those who are broken, serving the cause of Yahuwah, will receive a mantle of splendor. Those whose proper desires remain unfulfilled on earth will find fulfillment in heaven. Those who have cheerfully borne affliction or deformity will radiate strength. And those who die for the cause of justice and peace will inherit life in glory. Now this is the next section here. And these are the people that our Messiah rejects. And so if you want to be rejected by our Messiah, then put yourself in this list. I reject those who oppose the rule of Elohim. I herald a reborn world, even as I was heralded. But while such as these encumber the earth, it will not be reborn. I assure you of this, unless the world be reborn, it cannot know the rule of Elohim. The upheaval of the labor pains will be great. For though many will say, "Speed the day," with their lips, in their hearts they will be saying, "The cost is too great. Spare the coming." By their fruits shall they be known, and by their deeds shall they be judged. I reject the rich who live with their riches, or those who live beyond the bounds of moderation, for they shall be humbled in outer darkness. Is it not written, those in houses of comfort, where they sit at ease, listening to instruments of music and sleep on soft beds of ivory, shall not survive? I reject those who gorge themselves with refinements of food while others hunger, for they shall hunger in the kingdom of the Ruach. Is it not written, they who serve Yahuwah will be filled, but those who do not will want? I reject those who scorn the way of wisdom, seeking vain displeasures which dull the Ruach, for they shall be sorrowful in their proper place. Is it not written, the Ruach of those who serve Yahuwah shall be joyful, but the Ruach of those who reject him shall weep in sorrow and regret. I reject the arrogant and selfish and those mainly concerned with themselves, for they will be friendless in their place. Is it not written, the things built of selfishness and false pride will be broken? I reject liars and deceivers, for their abode is a place of darkness. Is it not written, the deceitful shall know the presence of Yahuwah? I reject those who encourage ignorance, walking stiff-necked. Their hearts are an unopened book, for they shall not be enlightened. Is it not written, those who shower scorn on the words of others and close their eyes to righteousness shall not receive a righteous reward in their place? What do you guys make of this so far, gentlemen?
So starting at like the beginning ones, he was talking about rich people and people who sit there and eat so much that they're gorging themselves, right? Gorging yourself means you're just eating past you're full, right? You're full and you just keep going, and there's people outside your door starving. He's like all the rich people, all the people they're not getting in because they only care about themselves. They never care about who, they never care about anything else. And he's rejecting those who are teaching ignorance, stiff-neckedness. That is modern day Christianity. That is the people who walk against Torah. Because it's, I didn't know that, or if that's true, then God will tell me or something like that,
Yep.
right? Everyone
the
says
Holy Spirit will tell me.
The entire thing when you talk to a Christian is they claim ignorance. They claim that, we don't. We'll just say we don't know. We never heard from him. That is what ignorance is. And he said, no, that's not how it's going to work because you're walking stiff-neckedness, and that's what Moses called the Israelites when they were going against the Torah. He's like, you stiff-necked Israelites. Every time they broke the Torah or did some grave sin against Yahuwah, they would call them stiff-necked people.
Yeah, and there is a lot of stuff. There's so much in this reading here. He rejects the arrogant and selfish, right? Those mainly concerned with themselves, right? That is hardcore. People need to look in the mirror and understand that we are to be servants of other people. And, arrogance and selfishness is obviously it's a rejection. 27. I reject the fornicators and adulterers and those who seek after lewd pleasures, for they shall go to a place of uncleanness. Is it not written, only they who are clean can come into the presence of Yahuwah? So this is a huge message for people into pornography. If you're an adulterer, if you are into pornography, if you are destroying your soul because you have opened your eyes, and the eyes are the opening visions of the soul, you're destroying it. You're going to be rejected. Guys, that simple act of living in adultery and pornography and living in that kind of evil, Messiah says he's going to reject you. There's a lot of this, and if you look at the Christian religion, it's all like, it's grace, it's grace. We're all going to get in. Everybody raise your hand. Let's all sing Kumbaya. The rapture's coming. Eat your pork. We're on our way out, right? That is what the Christians completely believe, but it goes against all of Scriptures. And not just all of Scriptures, it goes against this as well. 28. I reject those who in any way cause needless suffering, for they shall go to a place of pain. Is it not written, he who causes distress, though it be done in secret, yet he is seen and will repay? I reject the hypocrites and self-deceivers, for their loathsomeness will be properly purged. Is it not written, words not written in the heart? Words not written in the heart should never issue from the mouth. Wow. That is what, I've been talking to all of us for a very long time, that the evil of our speak only comes out when we open our mouth. We can have these thoughts. We can be I guess, evil and think things, but when we say them, we bring the evil to fruition, and causes unknown damage to people. Simply by running our mouths, it will hurt people. Woe to all who hear my words, but twist their meaning to suit their convenience. Okay, that reminds me right there of all food has been made clean. Jesus just made all food clean. We can now eat pork, we can eat lobster and shrimp, we can eat roadkill, we can eat a human corpse if we so like, because all food has been made clean. That is what Messiah is talking about, twisting their meaning to suit their convenience. If a man says he is with me, but does not abide by my teachings, then he is a hypocrite. If he says, but I live in circumstances where this does not apply, he is a liar. Far better that such as these say, we are against you. For until they do, the world will not be reborn.
That reminds me of people like, I can't follow it because I do this, or I can't do it because I do this. Like, you got to find a way around that. You got to figure out how to solve this problem in your life so you can follow this law.
Yeah, and he's simply saying that, on this, that if you're twisting these words, it's better for you just to say, I hate you, I'm against you, I don't want to be with you, than to sit there and live in a lie of a hypocrisy. 31. There's only two more. I only do two more verses on this. I bring light to the threshing floor of life, where suffering and misfortune are the flails, tribulation and distress the winnowing fan, and the wisdom of Yahuwah the winnowing shovel. Here the wheat is separated from the husks, the chaff is thrown out, and the good grains gathered up. I come to build a new temple, and if you say, these are good teachings, and take them to your heart for tomorrow, but revile your neighbor and deceive your kinsman, you are an unstable brick. If the temple be built with such material, surely it will collapse, and those within it will perish. Is it not better if it were never built? If you say, but I am weak, then examine your defects and take the first step to stability. But examination is a waste of time unless leading to rectification. Guys, I want everybody at this table and everybody out there to understand what this just said, guys. That it says, if you're saying you are weak, you need to examine your defects. If you have the ability to look at yourself and say, I'm lacking here, or I don't have this all the way, or I have a problem, or say, for instance, every single day, we yell at each other every single day, and we decided that, hey, we don't want to yell at each other anymore. We want to find peace, right? So we sit down and we examine why it is that we are having these conflicts, right? If we examine this, and unless we rectify it, then we're wasting our time, right? Unless we can come to a rectification of the problem and understanding of it, then it does us no good. And so if we have the abilities and the understanding that in some things that we are weak, like for instance, if you have a pornography addiction and you cannot get rid of it, then my friend, it's time to turn off the internet. It is time to clean your house. It is time to get in the scriptures. It is time to get away from that kind of evil, because that is just one thing that Messiah right there says will lead to rejection. So with all those things, we now know a lot of things that will cause rejection, and it sounds like every single one of these things are based on the Torah, right? Everything in here is based on Torah. We don't have any new instructions. There is nothing new outside of this. And the one gal that was talking about this is, in this chapter we hear the Messiah like to go swimming, right? We had never heard that before. We had no idea.
There's nothing against the Bible with that.
There's nothing. But
it gives him more of who is Messiah Yahushua. What does he like?
Yeah.
What does he do?
And if your father created the entire world and you were sent on a mission, wouldn't you want to participate in some of the things like swimming, right? Something like that. Some of the stuff that your father created a body that is able to float or to not drop to the bottom and to do things of this nature. That is the power of human nature, is that we have the abilities to do so many things, and we would have the ability to do nothing if our Creator had not willed it. If He had not given us this life and the abilities to live a good life, then that would be on Him. But He has given us every single ability, and He's given us cognitive reasoning. We have understanding. We have the scriptures. We have all sorts of stuff around us, but it is up to us to grasp this and take it and make it part of our lives. But if we do not take the Torah of our Creator, of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and wrap it into our lives, then Satan will wrap into our lives and take off with us. Guys, with that, we would like to say goodbye, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
All right.
Shalom.